This computer, let's go. Hello, people, and welcome back. This is another video for me to show you about Neo, the capabilities of it, and the new update. Neo does have a perfectly working signal system, as you can see here. These will appear, and they will appear correctly for you to be able to take a trade setup. It's got all of the information here, so it tells you if it's a sell or a buy trade, which is long or short. It gives you the entry, the stop loss. There is a risk calculator in there as well, which can work out your take profit, work out the lot size you're trading. Sorry, and sorry, I meant to say it's here. It works it out, and then there's a target level, so your take profit 1, 2, and 3. All of this is customizable in the settings of Neo. There is so many settings in Neo, it's unreal. As you see, there's so many settings in here which you can go through. I give every single person my own personal settings that they can use once they do purchase Neo. If you want to get it, you just have to message me. It's lifetime access. The price will be going up because you'll see from this Zoom call, if you actually do stay to the end or watch it in your spare time, you'll see how useful this product actually is for you to have this as a trading tool with you in the market. So, I think I'm going to just have to reiterate, and I think it's good for me to say this at the beginning of every single Zoom call. Neo already works. Neo already has a working win rate strategy. And what there is, there's actually a table in the settings so you can see what the win rate is with these signals popping up on every single pair. You literally can just switch on the table. And I've done a video of that. It's on my YouTube on the playlist. You can see it all there. And literally what I've done is I've worked it out to an average win rate. So Neo's average win rate is between 40 and 60% if you're going 1 to 3R. So obviously every pair has its own temperament. So that means it has its own behavior. So, and this is every single pair in the market. Doesn't matter if it's futures, doesn't matter if it's stocks, doesn't matter if it's currency. The average win rate I will put around about 50%. But if I'm being absolutely honest, you're looking between a 40 and a 50% with 1 to 3R. Now, I think that's absolutely perfect for any trader that's trying to come into the market, doesn't know how to trade, and straight away you're just getting these signals. These signals are all based on alerts as well, so you can get alerts where it actually pops up and it tells you this exact alert here, and it'll tell you your take profit levels and everything. I know the alerts might have had a bug at the moment or something. I can easily fix that, so that's nothing to worry about, people. But this is what happens. You get the alerts, and when these alerts come through, once you set them up, you literally can get these trade setups. Now, everything else that I've done in Neo is to obviously assist. Remember what I just said at the beginning of this. There is a 40 to 60% win rate. Now, obviously, we're here to make money, people. So I'm not just going to leave the product like that and not trying to make it better. This is why you get from me popping up saying there's the update to Neo, there's the update, there's the update. Now, every update is built for the chance and the hope, of course, but I can see the clarity of it because obviously I'm creating it and I can see how it's moving, for it to increase that win rate. So my aim is to get between a 70 to 80% win rate simply through Neo by adding more and more updates to this product. And those updates are not something you have to necessarily learn as I get closer and closer to the end of creating them. It's going to be something that's all going to be merged into, again, stop loss, into a signal type based indicator. This is a lifetime access. So, as I'm going through this process, you guys and girls will be okay. You don't have to stress. Like, there will be the same type of buy and sell alerts with this new update I'm going to be going through today. So you don't have to, again, you don't have to stress yourself, guys and girls. It's literally going to work like that for you. But for now, obviously, this is something new that I'm building to increase it, and it takes time to do that. I'm only one person. I can't give every second of every day to do this. And anybody that's done coding before knows it takes a very long time. You make one thing work, something else goes wrong, you got to fix something else, another thing can go wrong, and so on. It takes hours to do this stuff, people. So you have to be realistic with what you're expecting from myself. But again, I will get it there eventually. It's lifetime access, so you have no stress. There is no monthly payment for you to have this. You'll be fine. So yeah, with all that being said, people, this new update, absolutely beautiful, muy bueno, I would say. This is just a quick, even example of it right here. Now, Neo actually has live action order flow zones. So it tells you when there's buyers and sellers trapped in the market, as you can see here, that there's trapped buyers and trapped sellers down here, basically. I'm sorry if it's running a bit slow. I don't even know what's going on right now. but it might just be running a little bit slow. If so, just bear with me, please. I'm trying my best to try to work out the connection. Don't know what's going on. But what this does now is that when there is a certain way that these buyers and sellers get trapped, we get these zones that appear. These zones will appear from weak to medium to strong. And that's also telling you the amount of basically orders that are in that zone. So obviously this is a weak zone. So there's a certain level of orders. So let's look at it in like, let's say a percentage base. Yeah. Let's imagine there's like 25% of orders in this zone. There's 50% in a medium zone, and there's 100% in a strong zone. Now, obviously, those numbers will change because just like any volume or anything type of indicator that reads orders, it's going to have a certain amount. Usually it goes up in like the thousands. As you can see, if you can see here, it says 37,000.5 five basically. So and it tells you it's got like a certain rate that's like a 1.6 rating. Everything that's on Neo's customizable. You can make text go bigger and smaller, etc. But of course, I'm just trying to keep it on the screen so we can try and see everything here. Now, why I'm pinpointing this trade here, which is a great trade for me to just look at straight away, is this is even for people that are just looking at it. Remember, this is not everything I talk about here. I want people to know it is not the Neo strategy. I have to keep saying that to people because they're confusing themselves by thinking, oh, this is the strategy. No, I'm just showing you what Neo has and how you can look at it at the moment. When it becomes the strategy, it will have the auto trading, buy long, short, stop loss, take profit, everything. But I've made it very clear and very transparent. I am building this from the ground up using this strength indicator tool that we've got over here, and I'm merging it. Neo already works, and you can make money from Neo if you purchase it. It already works. This is to increase the win rate. But I'm just showing you here what it's doing. This isn't for you to increase your win rate, what I'm explaining now. This is what this is doing. So what we can see over here already is that obviously we can see EU as buying. Now, why this makes this great is because we can already see here out of all of the pairs, all of the pairs that were crossed with Dixie, which is the US dollar currency, were actually strong on this table. On this table here, just like you have at the bottom, when the top pairs appear, yeah, you've got number one, number two, number three, number four, and these are all put in numerical order for you to tell you which ones are the strongest and which ones are the weakest. So as you go down this list, these would be the weakest pairs, and as you go up the list, they'll be the strongest pairs. So Euro USD is actually number three on the list. And even for you to have caught this trade literally today, you could have literally have caught this trade with no major issues. Again, I know what people are going to ask. Where would you have put your stop loss? But where would you have entered this trade? But where would you have put your take profit? I understand all of that. And again, I have to say it. It's lifetime access. Be patient. All of this information will be revealed to you. I'm just showing you how simple the power of what I've added to Neo is. You can see straight away that we had a weak zone here. This weak zone has already given us an indication. This would have appeared as soon as this candle here closed. So this was before price actually bought. Bear in mind, remember what I told you. It's already told you here, Euro USD, strong buy. Yeah, it's told you that it's been balanced basically 3 candles ago. That's what the 3 means there. This is what it tells you. So what it means by balanced is it means that the buyers and the sellers are basically, imagine the books are balanced at the moment. It's the even amount. Yeah, that's what it's technically telling you here at the moment. Now, literally, it's telling you the velocity of this is a 7.1. So it's telling you there's still a lot of momentum in this trade. We can obviously see the velocity is high because price has bought up already from last week. Yeah. Now, the next thing it's telling you is the trend on Euro USD is a buy, which we can see, which is great. And it is telling you Euro USD, the ADR is overbought, which the ADR, the average one is 3 times ADR. This is giving you 8. Now, realistically, it's giving you 8 because it's merging the Dixie with the Euro that's over here. So whatever the ADR is on Euro plus the ADR on Dixie, that's what it's merging together. Now, obviously, if you were looking at 3 times ADR on both of them individually, when you put that together, that's 6 times its average. That's 6 times its ADR, basically, it would have technically been. So it's already telling you it's overbought. So personally, myself, I wouldn't look at putting an entry in this pair until price pulls back and then corrects itself for the continuation of this buy. But that's how I trade. If you were scalping, this is already giving you an indication here. Indication straight away. Euro USD is a strong buy. It's the only ones, the USDs that have strong beside it. Everything else is literally a range or weak. AED CAD does have it as well, but you get my point. It's like you can see here. This is clear as day. Once you understand it, you come to the table, you see all of these are strong. you would have said to yourself, okay, I can look to put a buy in this trade, but obviously I'm not going to buy crazy because again the ADR is telling you just the same way people use an RSI or a MACD or a stochastic or whatever else they use to check overbought and oversold. My version of that is the average daily range. I've been using this for like 4 to 5 years now, and it's shown me very good consistency in telling you when price is going to break out and when it's basically overbought or oversold, because it's telling us price currently from this low here to all the way here, it has bought 4 times its average daily range. So for price to do that, that is a lot. Again, the rule of thumb, this is what I can say. The rule of thumb with an ADR, average daily range, is 3 times ADR. Price usually moves 3 times up or 3 times down, and then it pulls back. This is something I've been trading for years, so I can say that with confidence. Do you understand, people? It's literally what it does. So again, some price will extend because of news events, NFP, CPI, FMOC, all these types of things, interest rates. And what we can see here, there was a massive, obviously, push to get the market to go 4 times. So I wasn't necessarily looking at that as like, oh yeah, let me get into this trade. But you can already see here, boom, this was an entry because we would have had here trapped sellers because they tried to sell and they couldn't break it through. Now, once we come to this time frame here, this is not the only thing. What I've managed to get to now is something called the anchor protocol. So the anchor protocol gives you variations of buys and sells. Pardon me. It will start from buy or sell flow. Then it goes into God mode, buy or sell, and then it goes into LCT. So the strategy that I'm creating in front of every single person's eyes here, yeah, from how I will trade it eventually, but you can still, take little chips and nibs out of it to make your own money. But how I would trade it, they're called life-changing trades. And the changing trades, yeah, that's what the abbreviation is, LCT strategy. These are getting you entries around places like here for this big buy. So last week there was an entry for a big buy. There was an entry for a big buy into this trade, literally from down here all the way up to here. So this was how much was the move? Boom. Boom, boom, boom. This was a 200 pip move so far. Do you understand? That's why I call them life-changing trades. I kid you not, people. We were actually in, and the proof of this is in the group, which is technically a signal group from all the signals that come through on Neo, the original strategy. As long as they make sense with this table now that I'm showing you here, I post these same signals that you can see here in the free Neo Telegram group, which is in the link. It's going to be in the description below in the link. And again, I do put information in there about the updates to Neo, but I do put all the signals in there just to show people that this works. So nobody can say I'm lying. If I'm lying, then those signals won't work, and you can say, yeah, John, this don't work. But I'm putting them there to hold myself accountable and so everyone can see. So we did actually get entry on Tuesday on this pair. So we actually had this entry from here, and we did that because Neo told us to buy on this Tuesday. That's what this signal technically is here. It's just put itself over there, but it's technically, this was the Tuesday signal, literally, people, and the proof is there. So imagine this was really a 240 pip trade from Neo, the original strategy being connected with us paying attention to this dashboard, and we were like, boom, let's enter this buy. This is how big this trade was, guys and girls. Yeah. So this was fantastic. Now, when we go back to this original setup here, again, remember we're on the 4 hour chart. It's told us 4 hour sellers are trapped in this zone. Yes, it's a weak zone, but it's telling us that. So let's say we go down to the 1 hour. What I've seen is that a nice Goldilocks zone is the 1 hour chart to the 4 hour chart. Now, 4 hour takes a lot for trapped buyers and sellers to actually create these weak and strong zones, literally, people. But you can see here, so when we were on a 1 hour chart, we can even see here, right over here, we had absorption. If anybody is familiar with order flow, this is what I've added to Neo. And I've added it the best way I possibly can because I know there's order flow softwares out there and I'm making it very clear before anybody comes to try and bite off my head. Those softwares, which are just a little bit more expensive, well, to be fair, they're actually more expensive because this is lifetime access. Those indicators you've got to pay monthly and they're like 100 quid plus. So they're like £100 a month, £150 a month or dollars or whatever way you want to put it. Neo's lifetime access, you pay it, you've got it. So we're working with what the best we've got. But it shows us here that think of these absorption zones as micro, so miniature versions of trapped buyers and sellers. This is the heavy version. This is the lighter version. So as prices come here, sorry, bear with me, people. Just happened to my screen. Yeah. As prices come here, we can literally see that there was an absorption here. And this was going into New York session. So this was New York session open. It's 1 p.m. for me. So this would have been like early New York session. So we can already see price is understanding this and the way Neo's created itself that it's already grabbed its liquidity. That's why this has created itself here. Boom. Now, when we go into this, we've got an indication of a possible entry for a trade. But you're going to ask me, but how do you know that I would have entered there just based on this? Or I see these all over the chart. Does that mean I should enter at every single one of them? Well, no, not necessarily. But if you clearly look to the left, you can see how powerful they are just in general, people. Look here. Absorption, absorption. So this is seller absorption, basically. It's called buyer's absorption, but it means basically the buyers absorb the sellers. You can see here, you can see over here as well. These are free pinpointed entry that appears as soon as the candle closes, does not repaint people. I can't make that up. This is why I show you stuff like this, because I can't make up stuff that is very clear and apparent and will help you. So you can see here, boom, boom, and boom. You can even see here trap sellers as well. Boom. You can even see again, this is the 1 hour zone that was created here to show you that there's trapped sellers in this zone. Price can buy over here because buyers are kicking, they're starting to push into the market. Do you understand, guys and girls? So, boom. That is not how you necessarily enter it. I'm just giving you people the understanding again of what is here, because all of this had been added in the update I just literally released yesterday. So if I'm not explaining this stuff to people, they're not going to get it. Again, just for anyone that has just joined the Zoom call, you do not need to trade all this stuff to make money from Neo. The signals that I showed you that say long entry, buy and sell, you can make money from that. What I've added to Neo at the moment is to increase the win rate, and I will simplify it over time, and this is why it's lifetime access. But at least you know what is being simplified, so nobody can turn around and say, I don't understand what all of this means or whatever it is. Do you understand? John has done many videos to explain what everything is, and you can go through it. So you can see here straight away, boom, again, there's an absorption there. That's great. Now we're going to break down how you actually enter this trade. Okay, so how you enter this trade is we'll go to, sorry, my brain wasn't thinking, I was going to Zoom. We're going to go to replay mode. Again, apologies if it's a bit slow. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with my connection right now. It's just moving very lagging right now, my connection. So you just have to bear with me. One of those days. Boom. So let's pay attention to this now. The anchor protocol. As soon as I move this forward, it should change. Boom. So the anchor protocol here, it already told you, I kid you not, people, and this is why I put this here. You can set alerts on these as well, people. Yeah, you can set alerts on the anchor protocol. I was explaining this in the VIP group for the people that have bought Neo when I was creating this anchor protocol. I like to explain as I'm creating as well, so people can see what they've got coming for them in store with updates, obviously, so people can just see what's going on. But you can see here, this says LCT bull locked, velocity 5.8. So it's told you, not only have you seen this now, this absorption here, you've also seen that the velocity is 5.8. Oh, sorry, people. So it telling you that is literally giving you the indication that they have shifted money into the market. The institutions have shifted that based on this candle here right now. So as soon as we just move forward, boom, what do we see happens? Now you can see it turn to 8.1. You please tell me if everything I'm doing is nonsense. I'm not saying people are saying that, but there's always going to be naysayers, as we know in this game, people. I'm spending like 10 to 15 to 20 hours doing this stuff, guys and girls, and it's not for no reason. It's not just me looking at a fancy pattern. I'm actually breaking down the maths between the comparisons of currency pairs and how much prices move in those as well. This is what this table's doing. It just looks like a table full of information and like so much, but I kid you not, it's actually processing so much information altogether to give you simplified things. And even this might look like a lot, but the amount it's simplifying for you guys and girls is ridiculous. If you actually knew, you would say, oh, well, okay, John, okay. It's actually crazy. So it's telling you mathematically that that candle again, which was beforehand, as you can see in replay mode, even though we went to the live market, appeared. How is this telling you straight away that boom, now this is your entry point for a possible trade? So look here, people, we're going to go back from the beginning of this, yeah, just so you can see. So there's no wa'ala, as we like to say in Nigeria. There's no problems, yeah. I don't want no one to say there's problems in this thing. When your eyes to be open, yeah, open. Boom. Boom. Let's look, pay attention to the anchor protocol table in the bottom right. Sometimes it kind of freezes when you're in replay mode, but that's anything because replay is just weird like that. You just got to refresh the replay. It's just weird. It's just weird. But let's just see if it is if it is frozen. If it is, then I'll just go back to the replay. So I do believe it is frozen now at the moment. So we're just gonna go back here. Boom. And just to double check. Give me a sec. Sometimes it just does this. It's weird. Don't ask me why. I don't see it tend to argue with TradingView issues because obviously I don't own TradingView. It's worked my way. I don't. This is what some people do as well. I got to say that in trading, sometimes people try to look for blame for certain things, but I'm like, I already know the product works. I've seen it works. I know it works in replay mode. I'm not going to kill myself to figure out why TradingView is doing something. Do you understand? Sometimes people got to understand some technology just moves funny sometimes, people. If it just moves funny, just let it be. You understand? But let's just see now. You can see that here, it's already saying LCT trade and it's going down. Let's see if this goes lower so it comes out of LTC to go into anything else. Let's just see as we move it forward. Let's just see if it does. Boom. Yeah, look here. So you can see it's falling out of LTC. Okay, it tried to there, but this candle moved. But I believe it was this candle. Maybe I'm moving too fast. It fell out of LCT that right there, yeah? Boom. So I believe it was that sell candle there, the last one before. Let's just put a vertical line there and see if our entry was here. Boom. Let's just keep moving it. See what happens. Let's just keep moving it. Yep, it fell out there again. Boom. Yeah. So it fell out right here. Okay. So why I'm saying did it fall out? Because remember, it was holding the life-changing trade from last week. So obviously, if we set an alert, we're waiting for the next LCT alert to appear, which you would have set the alert for in your settings. So I want to see what happens. So obviously, this would have been the first one that you would have got here on the 1 hour chart. I just want to see what price does. Boom. You can see this one obviously gave us our LCT. Again, you're seeing how it's appearing. Boom. So if you did not get that first alert here, boom, for whatever reason, your next alert would have been right here. This is the alert you would have got to come to your computer because you can already see here, it's telling you out of all of these pairs pretty much, the pairs that are crossed with the dollar, which are the majors, it's basically telling you all the majors can either buy or sell. And this was a continuation version of it. When can I buy and sell is the question, again, that I said everyone's going to ask me. Well, I already did this to tell you what to look for. As I can see, it's strong buys. Now the question is when. I've told you the Goldilocks zone I've figured out is the 1 hour chart. So my when is boom. I'm waiting for now an alert on an LCT or even a God mode level. Yeah, I can wait for that, but I'm just giving you people the direct information. If you set your alert to LCT, boom, now you're ready to take a trade. I'm just going to see the question that was asked here. The alert will always appear when the candle closes. It has to read that the candle had that data in it. So the alert's always going to appear after. It's not going to appear before. It wouldn't make sense for it to do that for us. Do you get what I mean? It just technically wouldn't. Because it can't read the data if it doesn't exist. Does that make sense? It just can't do that. So it has to, the candle has to have X amount of data in it for it to appear when it's closed. And this is why I've gone down to the 1 hour chart now, because I understand if you wait for these trades on the 4 hour, they're more than likely locked in. As soon as you get an LCT, they go. Do you understand? A lot of the time. Sometimes they pull back first, but what I've noticed, they don't tend to actually break the LCT candles low or high. They don't actually break that. Do you understand? And this is all part of the stuff I'm saying that I'm working on as well at the same time. But they don't tend to because the order pressure is so high in it. No matter what, the most I've seen them do is try to fake you out. So they might go like 5 pips to the low of the candle or the high of the candle to try and stop you out if your stop loss was there. Yeah. But they don't tend to break it. They don't tend to completely go wrong and then go up after. Do you understand? So if you were to go to the 4 hour, the problem is the LCT candle is going to have so much volume in it a lot of the time. It's going to be a huge candle. Do you understand? This is why I've gone down to the 1 hour. So the candle is not as huge, but still as strong. Does that make sense? So again, if you set it there, boom, it will come up. Does this correlate with Neo bot alerts? I have 4. No, this doesn't correlate with that because I've said it many times. I'm gonna keep saying the same thing. Can anyone else answer the question? Because I have said it a few times now. That question, yeah. I said, someone asked, sorry, let me read out the question as I was told before. Does this correlate with Neo bot alerts as I thought we look for daily IFVGs once the alert pops up? So can you read in the chat right now? Anybody else on top of Anton can answer that question because he's answered it there. No, I understand, Mr. T. But you see the reason why, as I get it, I understand you come late, and I'm not trying to get onto everyone. But my worry as a mentor is that it's like people will come to me and say, "I'm confused," or "You're updating too much." But it's not really fair, and that's what I have to say for myself. It's not really fair for me because I say something multiple times. But if people don't actually go, again, I'm not getting onto you, Mr. T. I'm talking in general, so anyone that watches this can have a second thought. Yeah, I'm saying if you don't actually read the chat, because I don't care what anyone says, I'm probably the most active mentor you're ever gonna get, and everyone can attest to that. You can go and check my search history. I've probably got like 4,000 messages. I'm chatting all the time in my VIP chats. Do you understand? But if you don't actually read it, regardless of how, oh my god, it's 200 messages. Well, at least you're paying for someone that's willing to give you 200 messages. Do you understand? Well, because I'm sure you don't want to pay for someone that's just going to be a ghost for 4 weeks and you never hear from them. Do you get my point? So I've said that many times. It's a complete different strategy, people. And this is not the finalized strategy. I'm going to say that again. It's not the finalized strategy. I'm just showing you what everything does and how it's there. And again, I'm showing you how I'm building a strategy from nothing to something. So once we start seeing this strategy making money, everybody's had a full trail of, oh my God, my man added the dashboard. Then after he added the dashboard, he added these buy and sell zones. And then after he added the anchor protocol. And then from there, he was able to gauge where he could put his stop loss. And this is how he did it. And then how he was able to get his take profit levels is because of this. So even a beginner that wants to build a strategy is going to see how John was able to build a strategy from nothing. A lot of people don't do that. That's what I've noticed. A lot of people don't actually document a strategy being built from zero. What they do is they just teach you their strategy. So you're understanding it from the get-go so you can understand all the elements of it. Do you understand? The only thing that I'm merging with Neo, the original Neo signals that already make people money, is I check the strength and the weakness against this table. Because I'm not, if this is telling me that something is a strong buy and I get a Neo signal for a sell, I'm not going to sell that pair. I don't care that this is a new strategy because I've seen that this thing makes sense and it works. So I'm not gonna risk my capital if it doesn't line up with it because I have added it for a reason. That's the only thing that is different from the original Neo strategy. And that is what I've told everybody can do. I can't make it automatic at the moment because I have to merge it all together. You have to wrap the code in around everything. It takes a lot of time. So again, but I had to make sure it actually works first before I start dissecting the original Neo coding that's already in there. Do you get it, people? So I just have to be very clear so people can understand that. Because I don't know, some people they'll feel like it's just okay, but why didn't you do this in the update or something? But I'm like, my friend, that might take me 5 days to do that. If you're willing to stay up with me 5 days for 15 hours, you're not kissing your wife tonight. We're coding. Yeah, we're coding. We're coding. If you're willing to do that, I'll get this stuff out done. Like that. This is how it goes. So boom. So anyway, now it says absorption here, boom, and then obviously you can see again the anchor level, like I was saying, try to appear, and then obviously we got this move. So let's just even just wipe this out from this candle here. So again, Mr. T, I want you to know I wasn't trying to go off on you or anything. I just have to make myself very, very clear when I'm saying stuff. Yeah. Boom. All right, cool. So far we're already at 1 to 1.8. Let's just see if it will let us. I don't. Okay, let's go here. I've come out of replay mode now. I think this is out. So you can see price is obviously trying to pull back right now. So it did go up to a 1 to 2. So already that was a quick for the whole day. Remember, trading, we know how trading is. You can have a 1 to 1. You can have a negative risk to reward and still make money. We all know that. But you can have this was a 1 to 2 trade. You understand? No, I wouldn't say I'm targeting the ADRs for now, but yes, hear me out when I said that. Not for now, but yes, they are very good in general, if that makes sense. So I'm not saying don't do it. 100% you can definitely use the ADR for take profit levels because if anyone's noticed what this price is doing with towards these ADR levels when they actually appear, they are very accurate. So I would give them about an 80 to 90% accuracy rating of when price buys or sells, it's more than likely going to hit that level. Do you get it? And if you notice, as soon as it goes to those levels, it reacts. Exactly what you're seeing here. You can see now, if we get rid of this, price has gone to ADR4. What's happening at ADR4, price is starting to pull back because it's basically saying, hey, this is a lot. Or this is another take profit level, just like a resistance. So again, I'm just saying I'm not saying that now because I don't want anyone to turn around and say, but you said this is the strategy. But they are, I'm telling you, like, let's say off the record. Do you understand? It is very good to use. I would use them personally. Yeah. Cool. So everybody saw that. That was a quick 1 to 2 trade there, just based on simply looking at the table, the fact that it said strong buy, and then boom. The only reason I wouldn't have taken a trade like this, like I told you, is because you can already see even here, price is at ADR 4. So this is a lot, and price was already at ADR 3. So I already explained this to everybody in the VIP group that hey, listen, I'm not gonna look to trade that much at the moment because price needs to pull back. It needs to pull back. Now, an example of this, people, and I'm just being brutally honest with you. I didn't even take this trade, but these are the trades I was looking at. And being honest with you, I didn't take the trade because I took time off from all this coding that I've been doing like a crazy person, like a crackhead, yeah, to actually spend time with my family. Yeah. But look here, you can see here that when you go to over to the JPYs, what I looked for is I looked at the JPYs and I was like, okay, I can see the JPYs have a certain setup that can appear. Yeah. And why is that though, John? You might say, why? Why? Okay, so a bunch of the JPYs were in a range. So they were all in range sell, meaning you had the like sleeping emoji here. Yeah. So I went over to GBP JPY. Where is it here on the list? Obviously, the list updates itself as the day goes. It doesn't just stay static. This list will move up and down because orders, yeah, there's the power and the delta, which is in this built into this. The power and the delta moves up and down. That's the volume basically going into candles. So obviously it's going to move the table up and down, up and down. But what tends to stay the same, and even that I'm still trying to edit and pinpoint to get to a certain point, is that what stays the same the majority of the time is the definition of what it is: strong buy, strong sell. Do you understand? So we get that, or range buy, range sell. Those are the ones we're looking for. And we're looking from range all the way up to strong. Then there's God level, then there's hyper level, and then there's sniper reversals as well. But yeah, boom. So GBP JPY was telling me that it could sell. Okay. Again, it might have changed now because we're at this point in the market. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. So it said here, this one was actually a range sell, and even though it's turned into weak, it's still actually even so. So it's telling me it was a range sell, outflow buy. So I was still a bit cautious of this. So it means that outflow means that they whatever sells they were putting into here, when it says like outflow buy, which is opposite from what it said there, weak sell, weak buy, that means that whatever sells they were putting in there, yes, there's still selling pressure in there, but they're letting you know, the table's letting you know live, they're releasing orders. They're releasing sell orders from this. So if it does sell to a certain point and ricochets, exactly what you can see here. Look here, this is why I said the ADR levels are good, but I'm not telling you it's the finalized strategy. You can see price sold down, and look, if I'm making nonsense here, people, just to sell you something, then please explain to me why price went nicely to ADR 4 and then reversed from ADR 4 to go up here. Do you understand? Because these levels mean something. Like I said, I've been trading them for 5 years. That's why I added it to Neo. So now it's telling us that okay, it can sell, but at some point don't be shocked if they pull it back because they're taking off their selling orders. Do you understand, guys and girls? This is what it's told you. So I've said, okay, the JPYs make more sense to look for a trade setup because everything else has hit ADR 5, 4, 5. There was big breakouts last week. If you guys traded the market, especially the Forex pairs, you would have seen that price was doing stupid breakouts last week. Yeah. For whatever reason, great. And Neo was telling us, this new table was telling us that pairs could do this crazy stuff. Yeah. But so I looked at the JPYs because of that reason. The reason I looked at them was again because it created a new peak formation. And pay attention to this, lovely, my amazing people. Pay attention to it. Yeah. Look, it isn't these typical moves we would see. This is a double top. It's a double top, literally there. It's the M pattern, the same M that we used to trade, M1, M2, all of that. It's the same. It's a double pattern. Do you understand? So price created its peak formation up here, and then obviously because it created on Friday, it has to finish the move. Do you understand? So it had to finish the move. So the move continuation, I was just like, okay, yeah, cool. Well, we can clearly see, obviously, it tells us it created this peak. This is one of the pairs out of all of the other pairs that's not overbought, oversold, a few of the JPYs, because they all created their massive move with the BOJ news basically, and the release getting coming out at like 7 or 8 in the morning on Friday UK time. It would have been like 2 a.m., 4 a.m. or something, 2 or 3 a.m. in New York time, something like that. But boom. So I said, yeah, these pairs should continue. And this is what happened. And then at a certain time, we managed to get entry for a trade. So look here, boom. So we're just going to take the replay mode here. Okay. We're going to go back to the replay mode. Remember, you set alerts here. And then we're just going to do this. Boom. And boom. We're going to do this. Just give it a second. Let's get rid of this because this is up. Let's get rid of this because this is old information. That was from last week. So this doesn't need to be there. So let's just pay attention to this thing here. God mode, bear, and all of this stuff here, the anchor protocol table. Let's just pay attention. Boom. So right here already, look at this. It's told you LCT bear 9.8. So it's already told you could get a possible entry in here. Yeah. Right here. So we're going to put this. We're going to see if I'm going to put this line here like this. Boom. Yeah, it's told you straight away. Can you see it's already pinpointed that? Now, obviously, price has a gap here in the market. Boom. Hold on a second. So we see a pullback. Here. Boom. Let's just draw this out. Price obviously has a gap that it needs to fill here. It's tried to fill it, but it didn't fill all of it. So look here. Boom. What happens next? Price goes back, tries to fill that candle. You get this is why I say obviously you're not trading the absorption alone, because yes, this does say absorption. So you would think that it's going to buy. I understand from what I explained before. No, because remember, we're paying attention to what the table said and what the anchor protocols told you. So you can see from the anchor protocol already, if you didn't even trade it, this is what I told everyone, even if you're just watching demo trading or live trading at low risk while I'm building this strategy, you're still in a better position, because once it's time to go, you can see the power of this. So look, already it's told you the sell flow is a velocity negative 2.2, and what's happened is obviously it's gone from being a very big LCT trade to now it's pulling back. So it's telling you that the volume is obviously gone back in the positive direction more negative, basically. That's what it's telling you. So look here, boom. But now look, now you get your second alert. So even if you got in here, you had another alert entry here. Yeah. So you would have had, if you set it to this one here, you can see LCT bear 6.5. Okay, cool. So you had another one there. And then from there, game over. Are you seeing this, people? Are you seeing this, people? From there, are you seeing this, people? Game over. Game over. Are you seeing? I want you guys and girls to tell me you're seeing this. Game over. This was 100. Even if you got in, look, even from here, boom. If you got in from here, so we're going to put our worst possible entry you would have got. So there's the ruler there. Hold on. What's going on with this ruler? Give me a second. Try and put the ruler there. Yeah, even if we got in from here, this was 100 pip trade, 125 pip trade, literally. Let's just say your stop loss was above this level here. So boom, that would have been at least like a 1 to 2R so far if your stop loss was above there. Notice what I told you at the beginning. Have you noticed that they don't tend to go above the LCT candle for a stop loss? So they don't. So if you give yourself a few more pips above that or below that, you tend to be okay, because it takes a lot for them to create these LCTs, you know. I made sure that the sensitivity wasn't too weak. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's not just nothing. I'm not saying you'll never get stopped out, but it takes a lot, people, for them to break that order that they placed. So this works the same on indices. Yes, Travis, it works exactly the same. I'm just showing for anyone asking, it works. So somebody asked me, sorry, sometimes I have that method. Somebody asked me, does this work the same on indexes and metals? Exactly the same. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. We ain't finished here. We're getting warmed up, people. Yeah, that's what so it works exactly the same. It says, so we have, this is the next question by Mr. T. So we have first entry with the LCT alert and we re-enter with a second LCT alert. No. Now, you don't have to re-enter with the second alert. If you do that, that is your own choice. That's risk management. That's not a Neo thing. That's not a strategy. Whenever you, remember, whatever trade you take, doesn't matter whatever you trade, it's going to produce multiple entries that you could take. But do you decide to take multiple entries? That's risk management. That's not a Neo thing. Does that make sense? So that goes down to you as a trader. The first entry, this is why I said the worst entry still gave you a 1 to 2. You entering a second time is now you as a trader. Do you get my point? Yeah. Because that's why I went to the worst entry. I didn't just try and pick the best entries so nobody could say I'm cherry picking. I saw this live, is what I'm trying to tell you. I was on my phone in bed at this time when I had a computer at this time because it was there. But I saw it live and I said to myself, no, I'm not even going to enter if I want to. Let's see if it pulls back a little bit. I said, the next one I'll get. The next one. Yeah. Because I can see that that was a big drop. I remember there was gaps in the market. So I was already skeptical from just knowing trading in general. Whenever there's a gap at market open on the weekend, yeah, you have to be careful. It's either they're just going to keep moving price in the gap direction, sorry, in the direction away from the gap, or they will go back and fill it, just like stocks. You understand? So I was already skeptical, regardless of how good Neo looked. Neo can't save you from a gap if it's there, is what I'm trying to tell you, people. It can't save you. Nothing can save you from a gap. It's either they fill it or they don't. You know what I mean? That's a trading thing. Um, would you not wait for purple bearish ABS? Nope. You see, I wouldn't wait for that. Again, it's not that, remember, this is not the strategy. This is showing you what happens. Do you understand what can happen? No, sorry, let me rephrase that. This is not the strategy. This is showing you what Neo, the update, has. So I have to make myself clear. I'm not going to tell you there's a strategy because I told you there's no need for me to lie to you. I've made a strategy that works. I'm not going to sit here and say, yeah, this is a strategy. This is going to work. Because what will happen is people will start doing this. They might start losing. Then they're going to say Neo doesn't work. So if I tell everybody the truth straight away from the get-go, nobody can come back to me and say that. If they decide to take a 5.0 lot size and blow their account, hey, that ain't me, bruv. I got documented proof receipts. I told you, don't take the trades like that. Don't. Remember. So I know people are asking questions and I'm absolutely fine with that, but I'm just have to make sure I'm clear. So anyone that posts that in the group, John, I did, everybody can tell them, well, John told you not to do that. Do you understand? So that's why I'm making clear. So remember, the update has things people don't have. So I'm telling you, the fact that there was no ABS. The thing is reading this as well. It's reading it. These zones won't get created if these ABS don't happen in a certain order as well. So you don't have to worry about that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. As much as it looks complex, the system has it built in as well. Do you get it? So you don't have to stress yourself. That is not the strategy. So we'll go back to this whole thing here. You didn't have to wait. Yeah, no worries, Antoine. So I just have to make sure, like I said, I'm never ever getting on to anyone. You got to remember, you might understand something as me just saying no, other people won't. So I have to be clear. Does that make sense, Antoine? You get it? Like, that's where it is. So I have to be very clear. So boom. So yeah. So anyway, we saw how the entry appeared on that one. Okay, so let's go into something else because we all know everybody loves gold, everybody loves indexes and this and that. So I've actually updated this to have indexes in here as well. I did that over the weekend as well. And I know it's exciting to want to trade this, people. Trust me, it's exciting for me as well. But at the same way, what I'm doing is I'm taking certain trades on my bigger account. Don't get me wrong, but those are trades that I'm like, yeah, this is good. Everything's lining up well. But if I'm not too sure and I'm still trying to learn, just like you guys and girls, I'll take those trades on my smaller account. I'll put £50 in an account. I have no shame in saying that. And I'll put 0.2 just so I got the feeling of it being live. But I want to actually see if this makes sense. Do you understand? Because if I'm wrong, okay, why did it go wrong? And then I can fix it and make it better or explain something different. You get it? So anyway, let's go to gold. Let me go to the question first, and then we're gonna break down gold. Boom, boom, boom. Is this the correct alert setting? Nope, that's the first one. You can see you said any bullish. Okay, no. So you've gone to any bullish state, but that means you're going to get alerts from buy flow, bullish, and LCT bullish. I've already explained to everybody in the Zoom call already that the main one you want to pay attention to is LCT, life changing trades, because that's when the most volume is going to come. But the market's always going to create buy and sell orders in the market. So this is why you're going to get a normal bullish flow, a God level bullish flow. Those are obviously my wordings for them. That's not the Forex wordings. Yeah. But like I said, if you want the specific ones, you want the LCT. The only thing that can happen to you with the LCT sometimes is that it's so good, yeah, it's probably just gonna make a huge move and just fly. Do you understand? So if you want to have an on your marks, get set, go, yeah, then set your alerts for God level. So God level buy, God level bearish, God level bullish. Do you understand? If you do that, that will be the pre-warm up. So at least you can keep your eye on that pair. And then by the time you get the LCT, you can enter. Or if you're willing to lower your risk, you can enter from the God level. It might do a little wick down to form it to grab a little bit more liquidity before it does the LCT trade. but at least then you didn't miss the trade. Do you understand? Because LCT trades, they're going to be either a big order small candle or a flipping huge candle. And that huge candle is an ignition of big institutions coming in. And this picks it up for you when they do that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Or a big buyer, a big seller. So obviously we're going to go to gold now, yeah? And we're going to go back to the same thing on gold. So gold last week, this is what I explained to everybody, yeah? Boom. Gold is still buying? Flip. Is this replay mode right now? It's replay. Okay. Cool. I thought it was the thingy. Give me a second, people. The absorption data or the LCT candle, which it could. What is going on here? Sorry, monitor is moving mad. Electrodes are going crazy. Somebody asked the question: the absorption data or the LCT candle, which collects, will it differ from chart to chart or same pair? Example: Awanda, FMOC, Pepperstone. I'm not too sure. I haven't checked that, Mr. H. I haven't checked that. I'm not going to say I have. I haven't actually because I always trade on Awanda most of the time, unless the pair don't have Awanda. So I haven't actually checked that. But obviously, um, sorry, data will change from time to time because they're different brokers, and everybody knows different brokers can have different prices. Do you understand? Yeah, just stick with Orlando. So we all know that already, sort of thing. So it's the best thing to do is stick with Orlando. Is the interval correct? That's what you used to say. What do you mean by the interval on the alert that you put in here? So interval, same as chart, 4 hours. No, change it to 1 hour. That's what I explained in the VIP chat and I've explained in the Zoom call. Change you. I said the 1 hour is the Goldilocks zone, Yusuf. So if you change it to 1 hour, because remember what I've just said to you, if the LCT candle is so huge, you're gonna miss it. If this is the LCT candle here, you're gonna miss the move pretty much. It's not that you missed it because it's still bought mad, but obviously you're all the way up here now, is what I'm trying to tell you. Do you get where I'm coming from? You're all the way up here. So when you could have got in maybe from here on this, if you was on the 1 hour. All right, so look here on gold now. Okay, so we're gonna go to gold. So again, this is why the new update that I gave this weekend is great for traders on Neo already. And this wasn't even me that pinpointed this. This was one of the traders in the older update of it. It still had these trap zones and etc., but they were just a bit different. I coded them better now, is what I'm trying to tell you for the weekend release of the update. I didn't even say this, people. The money I made off of this trade, I want you to understand this, guys and girls. I listen to what I'm saying. I didn't even say this. Yeah, the trader in the group came that has Neo and said, "Oh, John, there's a trapped sellers on gold on the 4 hour chart. What do you think of that?" I said, "What you're going to do is go down to a lower time frame." So the time frame I was able to establish, if we go back to replay mode here, okay, boom. And this was before I created the anchor protocol entry, just so you guys and girls know. Yeah, it's here. So we go to back to gold. Let's just go to the what I did at that point, remember, this is before I created the entry anchor protocol. So I had to figure out through the time frames what is the best method to create something that we have now called the anchor protocol. So I went down to the 15-minute chart, long story short, yeah. And I realized the simple logic of Forex. Whenever you have a higher time frame, anything, go down to a lower time frame and you can get an entry because a higher time frame is showing you strength. So I went down to the lower time frame. So we had a 4 hour trapped sellers. Yeah, this is the gold buy. Yeah, cool. Then we had a 15-minute trap sellers here as well inside that 4 hour zone. Okay. And then boom. Now obviously you can see what happened with the trade. We obviously got the buy and it continued. Neo told you that. So most people would have been trying to guess when gold is going to buy. Imagine this is gold and that was a big buy, people. That was a life-changing buy. Because if you had a 1.0 in this buy, you would have made like probably 15, 20K. Who knows? Do you understand? So that was a life-changing buy that Neo told you about. Remember that. So remember, this is before I created it, but now to stop all the headache, because obviously people don't want to have to go down from this time frame to that place and here and there. I understand. You're paying for convenience. That's what you want. You want convenience, people. I get it. Yeah, cool. We go down to the 1 hour chart now, people, and let's just see what happens when we go to where that zone was. Just bear with me. I'm so sorry if my computer's running slow. I'm so sorry, people, but again, it's like what I said about TradingView. Sometimes it's just the technology. Because this thing was not running this slow before I started booting up the Zoom call. So we go here, boom. Yeah. So here, and just to show you people, sorry. to make this better for you guys and girls so people can see. We're going to go here. We're going to go to the settings. We're going to go to switch your look. Here's all the indexes as well. And what I worked out from doing my research online, apparently all of the indexes, so the futures, are backed against the ES, basically, SP 500. Would make sense because that's the top 500 companies. So technically would make sense. So no matter whatever happens here, all of it will be backed against the top 500 companies, basically. So if you switch on NQ, yeah, let's say you put NQ and ES, basically, it would just be that's correct. It's like imagine AUD, USD, because I was trying to figure out what is the other side of the cross for indexes. That's why I never added them straight away. But everything here is backed against ES, is what I'm trying to tell you. So it will tell you. So imagine ES is going down and NQ is going up. It will tell you the relative strength between the two and break it down. So let's just switch on gold now. Gold USD. So we're going to switch off all of these. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. And then we're going to fast forward this again. Look here. We're on the 1 hour chart. Let's just see. Look, God level, you can already see. So this was, okay, just to show you. So this was Thursday, the same day. Yeah. Let's go back from the beginning of the day so we don't make it, I'm not jumping nothing here. I want nothing but clarity for everyone. So we're not just jumping we're not cherry picking. We're going from the beginning and what you would have got. Okay. So first and foremost, let's just move this forward so we can see what the table says. So this says here, look, strong buy inflow. It says here GC, which is the futures version of gold, GC USD sell. Volatility 9.1. So whatever's happening here, the strong buy, there's a volatility of 9.1 here. Now, why it says inflow sell, it means they are adding sell orders to the market, yes, but it still says strong buy. They are adding sell market. So it's telling you whatever you're going to do, just be cautious. Do you understand? This is not the best setup. The best setup would be if it said strong buy, inflow buy, 100%. That is the better setup. I'm telling you that from now. Do you understand? But remember, this is only gold we're looking at. If I put gold with all the other stuff like gold, euro, gold this, gold that, gold has gold euro, gold ord, gold. There's different versions of gold that you can actually trade, people, if you're not aware of that. Yeah. So I think there's even gold JPY. So it's XAU APY, XAU GBP, XAU Euro, XAU ORD actually exists. So one of those might have even been a better reading if you added all of them to Neo. But I just don't want to do that so you can see the table clearly. So again, it's telling us that gold can buy because it's a strong buy. The volatility is 9.1, so that's telling you it is a strong buy. The rule of thumb on volatility, I'll tell you as well, because I know you might ask me, Yusuf, the rule of thumb from what I've seen, again, learning, yeah, is that anything that's above a 2, preferably a 3, that means that that's a good trade setup that's going to come that day. If you see a 3 and you see like range strong or something, that means whatever the table's telling you, plus that volatility, is something good's going to happen today. Do you understand? So boom. So look here. So we'll go into this day here. What day are we in? Are we in Thursday yet? Yeah, we're in Thursday. So we're still in the inflow zone. Now you can see obviously gold is making orders now. Look how it changed. Even though it says 1.1, what do we have here now, people? You can see what's happened. And I've noticed, I was going to tell you guys and girls, it does this at 1 o'clock in the morning. So what I've noticed, this is what I noticed today, yeah, is that they shift. Remember, I'm building a strategy for you guys and girls. I'm going to trade it live. So if I make money, please don't be upset with me, but I'm teaching you as I do it. I'm being very transparent. I already make money from the Neo strategy, trading hyper growth 33% with the Neo strategy. Do you understand? So, like, people got to understand I'm making money with that. I'm building a strategy because this one can make us more money. That's what I'm doing. So, you can see here it says, yeah, straight away outflow GBP USD, not GBP USD, GC USD. Buy now. Remember, it said sell before. So it told you that now they've shifted price. And I've noticed from 1 a.m. UK time, which will be 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, will be 8 p.m. New York time. Yeah. They seem to put a shift in the market at that time. So that means that they're going to either push one pair up, the other pair down. And what happened here is that you can see there was a bearish ignition. So that means the dollar went bearish. Do you understand? But gold is still bullish. So again, they're pulling against each other. And this is why it says ignition The red one here is telling you bearish, so it should give you an indication. It's even putting this thunder sign to say the volatility is moving now. So this told us that the confirmation of that buy can keep happening, is what I'm trying to tell you people. Yeah, already. Remember, the tables just told you that straight away. So now we're looking for our buy entry. Let's look at the anchor protocol over here. Remember, we haven't had no entry signal yet. Boom. What do you see there, people? What do you see there? Put it in the chat for me. What do you see there, people? What do you see? In the chat, please, can you put what you see there? What do you see there? Can I get full, please, baby? Thank you. There you go. I've got some fantastic food in front of me right now, people. This is crazy. I can't, I can't even eat. It'll be too crunchy. uh, it's hard to read. Okay, no worries. Well, Clyde can see it. It says God mode buy. Obviously, I'd like to make things bigger. Look, I'll do this for you. Yeah, I'll do this for you, people. Thank you. That's fine. It's fine, baby. It's fine. Yeah. Look here, guys and girls. So I got a lovely plate of dinner here, but we're still gonna get this Zoom done. Yeah. Look here. Um, where is it? Anchor table. I'm gonna make this anchor table large for you, Yusuf. Yeah. It might change it. Boom. Can you see that now, Yusuf? I'm sure everyone can see that now. Can you see it? Is it clear for you, people? I can see it. Yeah. Boom. So if you can't see it on your knee, I'll make it bigger then. That's why I put all the settings there for people. Yeah. So boom. So anyway, now we can see that we've got our entry signal on this candle here, 5 a.m. There's a little source that I saw someone saying on Instagram as well, and it makes sense. And I've seen it as well, and he's not lying because I've seen it. Apparently, 5 a.m. in the morning, London time, gold always makes a move. So I thought maybe chatting rubbish, like most of us probably think when we see some people saying stuff. Even like myself, people probably think I'm just chatting rubbish about all of this. But I'm telling you, this is a serious piece of gear. Yeah. And you can see how Neo even picked up what this other influencer on Instagram has been saying. Yeah, he's a guy from the UK as well. And he said that 5 a.m. in the morning is when gold always seems to make its move every day, literally. So at 5 a.m. in the morning would be 12 at night in New York, just for the New York people. Yeah. Boom. So you can see here, this is when we got our ignition. So again, the guy's theory is actually right because Neo picked it up. They placed their orders, the big buyers. Yeah. Cool. So we would have entered here. So let's just keep moving it forward. Yeah. Now, yes, the buy flow is getting weak now. That's cool because you're already in this trade from here. You're in from here, your stop loss, let's say now. Again, this is all data. This may change over time. Apart from the entry signal, I'm saying it again, apart from the entry signal that I'm teaching you, the stop loss may change. But this is what I've seen so far, and I can create this, add it to Neo. If it makes sense, then it works. The same way I made the anchor protocol is the same way I can make the stop loss, is what I'm telling you. Yeah. Your stop loss is at the bottom of this candle here. Okay. Boom. We just keep moving forward, keep moving forward, keep moving forward. You can even see how price is getting weaker as the flow of the market's getting weaker as well. Yeah, boom. Look here again. God mode buy. This isn't a big candle. This is why I said the 1 hour is a Goldilocks. If you were being the trader that wants to be on it, you enter again. Stop loss at the low of this candle. Let's just see. For this entry, your stop loss is at the low there. Let's see. See what happens. Boom. Look at that. LCT bull buy, life changing trade, bullish, locked, velocity 5.5. Yeah, boom. Remember, you didn't have to do nothing, people. You would have just had alerts and this would have appeared. Is what I'm trying to tell you. You just had to literally check the trade on the table and wait for the alert. Boom. Now you've even got another entry in here in gold if you want to. Obviously, you would lower your risk at this point. Stop loss below this one. So we've got 3 stop losses, one below here, one below here, and one below here. Yeah. Cool. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Look how powerful it is when the life changing trade came in. LCT. I'm just gonna keep saying that now. When the LCT came in, can you see people? Is this not a life changing trade? Please let me know if I'm wrong. Please let me know. If this is not a life-changing trade, please let me know. Let me know in the chat, people, what you think. I'm just going to be eating some of this dinner at the same time, but let me know, people. Will it work just as well trading GC hold on. Will it work just as well trading GC via a futures prop firm instead of XAU? Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because you're still going to put, I don't know on futures prop firms if you can put it against Dixie, but it will. But look, let's go to GC1. We don't have to talk about it too much. I'm just going to read the rest of the questions first, and then I'm going to go to GC1. Bear with me. Um, Data backed move, awesome, no flapping. There you go. Of course, because it's showing you it's showing you institutions. Remember, this is mathematically calculated to work out all this stuff. All this stuff is possible. But what I've done is I've figured out from all the knowledge I've got, I figured out the mathematical calculations of how to put this information in there. That's what's going on. Do you get it? So you're getting an institutional move with clear as day structure. Remember, I started from the four sorry, I started even showing you by the absorption on the 4 hour, so basically the trap sellers. So not you're not just seeing chart stuff, you're seeing mathematical calculations of when they're actually injecting market data. So you get it, boom. Definitely. Wow, that's amazing. All right, cool. So let's go over to GC1. We obviously know what gold did because anyone's watched it, we know it bought. Yeah, so we don't have to obviously show you the end of that trade. We just know that was life changing. So whoops. So if you go over to gold futures, boom, right there, you can see this is why right here. So we can see, oh, that's probably why. Hold on a second. Let's go in. Let's go here. I was thinking it could be because I know these blue lines in the background, they show you when the market opens. These, because I know futures is different from Forex, the way it moves and opens and closes. So I was thinking the injection at 1 a.m. comes because of these when it opens. Do you understand? When I was telling you that the injection, this table seems to update itself. So even if the market opens, the table has a way of updating itself. It seems to update the most for the real move of the day at 1 a.m. in the morning, London time, so UK time, and it seems to be different for American time, which obviously not seems to be different. It's obviously, pardon me, 5 hours before that. So you can work out, you can go on Google and work it all out. But 1 hour UK time is when this table seems to update itself for what it can do for the rest of the day, the majority of the time. I am checking if there's any other times. That's the next quote unquote update I'm looking at. But 1 a.m. is so 8 p.m. Eastern. That's what Yusuf just said is the NY time basically. So yeah, you can see the same thing happens here on GC right here because it's telling you this is what the GC is bullish. Remember, this is what this indicator is doing is mapping it against the dollar, and the dollar was going down. So you can see here, boom, GC was buying, yeah. So it's the same thing as you said. Can you trade this on a prop account? Yes, you can because it's telling you the same thing. Remember, this is not telling you a price level to get in at. It's telling you what it's doing. So gold is obviously going to be doing what it's doing, and so is GC because it's not just GC alone. Every time you're looking at GC, you would be looking at GC against what? The dollar. Do you understand? And if we go over to Dixie, look at what Dixie is doing. This is why this indicator is so crazy. It's automatically doing this for you. Oh my God, people, you see that? What are you seeing here, people? Tell me what you're seeing here. Tell me what you're seeing here that you love to be able to do, and before you had to do this all manually. What are you seeing there, people? And on top of that, I get it. You're seeing the God mode, but what does the charts look like? What is the difference between those two charts? GC, forget the protocol. What does the candlesticks look like? What did you see just there? What did we see GC doing? What did we see Dixie doing? That's the question I'm actually asking you. Thank you, H. That's it. You see, this table is doing that for you automatically. Anyone that's learned enough about Forex will know that there's two crosses. One side of the cross, the other side of the cross. You're going to get the best trade no matter what's going on in the world. It doesn't matter. You are always going to win if you get the perfect correlation between one going up straight away and one going down straight away. There's no other way you're going to lose unless you put a 1 pip stop loss. Let's just say that the only thing that can make you lose is your stop loss at this point. But is the trade going to do what you think it's going to do? Yes. If one's going up and one's going down, this is what happens. Nope, you're overcomplicating it for yourself, mate. Forget that. There's no need to worry about that, Yusuf. So Yusuf asked, but given that Dixie is now in the green zone, is the support zone, basically, which is the trap sellers, isn't that like likely to reverse? No. This is why I try and tell people don't over sorry, don't overcomplicate what you're doing. Do you understand? I haven't mentioned that at one point that's what you believe is going to happen. So now you're adding complication to what I've never said. Do you get my point? Never said that. You're worrying about what you need to worry about is the actual trade and what the actual trade is doing itself. And what the actual trade is doing itself is explained to you right there. It's told you everything you need to worry about. So now you adding more to it would be like, you're going to confuse yourself, is what I'm trying to say. And it's not only you, others would do the same. It's told you LCT, everything else is matched up. Why you won't? That means that if it's an LCT, that means they're going to blow past that. And now look. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Look, watch. Let's just watch. I put the play on the replay. Boom. You see it? You see it there, Yusuf? So it's pointless you worrying about those things because it's already mathematically told you. Don't fight the system. It's told you mathematically. This is strong. This is going to happen. Do you understand? So the next question I'm going to ask now, because I've gone through it a bit. Remember, I'm going to keep doing Zoom calls. This isn't the only Zoom call I'm doing, and I'm going to disappear. I'm going to keep doing Zoom calls so we can reiterate this information constantly, so people can get better and better at it. But the question I'm going to ask now is, what I'm going to say is, does anybody have any questions? Please let me know, people. I'm sorry if you can hear me eating in the background, but I'm hungry, people. I need to eat at the same time. So if you've got any questions, let me know.
I have a question. I have a question. John?
Yes, I need the energy. I need all the energy, H, that I can get. Yeah, go on, James. Have a question. Ask your question. Yeah, I'm not speaking and I muted it so I could chomp on some food. I was just waiting for James to write his question as well. I was reading it whilst eating some good food, man. That's cool, Antoine, man. The wife made some good food. I'm eating enchiladas. Mhm. So what you're saying, there's a buy signal here. Are you trying to say on GBP USD and GBP ORD? Is that what you said, James? Can you post a screenshot in here? Is it possible for you to show that? If you can't post a screenshot in here, no, there won't be a buy order here, regardless. And I've taught people this from the beginning to keep it very simple for everyone. Remember, I can only work as best as I can with the coding. Neo has 5,000 lines of code. Neo is trying to read multiple time frames time and time again. Obviously, there is some errors and bugs and glitches that can happen. We can get that, and I think that's very fair for me to say because it's not just a moving average we're reading here. We're reading multiple time frames. The request to calls is ridiculous, the amount I'm asking. I mean, a lot of the times we're reading multiple time frame, multiple pairs. So why I'm saying that is this is why I say sometimes IT will just do what IT wants to do. Don't stress yourself. There is no, yeah, and this is what gets taught to people. Yes, Neo's trying its level best to work out everything for you, but there is no bullish daily IFVG here. For it to make a bullish daily IFVG, this bearish, I meant to say, this bearish, what is going on here? Click on the damn rectangle. This has to become a bearish daily FVG. This has to become a daily bearish FVG. Yeah. Then price has to break this daily bearish FVG in order for that to be the correct signal. Do you understand? So any signal you get, and this is why I've told every single person that any signal, it doesn't take you more than a second to do this, regardless if you want to double check it or you're confused. If you go to the daily chart on that pair and it hasn't created an IFVG on the daily chart, it's not the correct signal. Regardless, just leave it. Leave it. I will obviously try and make it better and better over time and tweak and tweak and tweak I can, but you can always do that. I don't place, I've got a decent amount of capital, so I don't place trades without always overlooking as well. Yes, people are paying for everything, but come on, if you're putting 50 grand, I'm just talking realistic now, people. If you got 50 grand in an account and you're looking to make 2 or 3 thousand, it doesn't take you more than a second to go to the daily chart, regardless of what Neil's saying, pardon me, and just double checking it. Do you understand? Now, that doesn't mean I check every single aspect, but one thing I can check is if there's a daily IFVG. That's the whole main thing the Neo zones are based on. Do you understand? The fact that there needs to be a daily IFVG. So that's what I literally do. I did explain that in the VIP group from the beginning. Always just go and double check. And the reason why that's happening when you're getting any of those errors is because the strategy is built to read the 4 hour time frame, but it has to also now read data from the daily time frame. You understand? This is where we start to get these incorrect things that might appear. If I made this all one time framed, which then people would have to use the product, but go through each individual time frame that the strategy is based on, which is longer, you wouldn't get those issues. This is why, if you notice, yeah, a lot of people that create indicators on TradingView that try to make it this complex don't use multi-time frame. You'll see it. A lot of them just use singular time frame. Do you understand? They won't use multi-time frame. And if they do, they don't make it a multi-time frame strategy because obviously it can only work as well as what TradingView can pick up. And candles can do different things on different time frames sometimes. Sometimes a candle on the daily chart might be what do you call it? What's that candle called? Indecision candle. Do you understand? There might be a gap sometimes. So when these things happen, this is what causes certain bugs to happen over time. Do you understand? Because it can only work as well as what the candle chart actually prints and produces. Does that make sense? Like I said, we wouldn't have none of these issues if I didn't make Neo multi-time frame, literally. Well, that's why that happens. So has anybody else got any other questions? If not, I want to tuck into this food, man. I'm gonna lie to you. If you've got any other questions, let me know, please. I don't want to just be chomping in the background in your ears. Who's chomping? I'm starving, people. I can't lie to you. Yep. Remember, there's going to be more Zoom calls. This is just one of many. Like I said, nothing is definitive. The only thing that is definitive in this whole thing, so the only thing that is absolutely what you should be paying attention to, and it's correct. We already understand the dashboard slightly, I'm saying, because I understand some people still don't get it slightly. But the thing that is definitive here is the anchor protocol. There is no other way to trade this. The way it's been set up is right there for you. Do you understand? So I would say to anybody, no matter what strategy you're trying to trade, make sure you look at the anchor protocol because this is going to tell you when the most volume is moved into the market. So even if you're trading something completely different and don't want to trade Neo, you just want to trade, you just want to know when the volume's coming in, you want that anchor protocol. Do you understand? Because it's going to tell you literally when the volume's coming in the market. So if you're trading before that, you're basically trading chop. You understand? Range. But this is going to tell you when the breakouts happen. So if you see a break of structure and the anchor protocol lights up, well, that's obviously telling you this is a good break of structure. Do you understand? Rather than loads of break of structures and some of them are incorrect. No, so no, what you've done is you've probably thingy because hold on. What you say, loads of alerts, Neo watch list. Okay, so you put Neo watch list. Oh yeah, no, that's what you're gonna get. Yeah, you're going to get that because remember, you've got a watch list. That's why you haven't got an individual pair. You've got a watch list. So basically, it's gonna give you 1 hour alerts for every single pair. And you put once, you've put only once here. You need to put once per bar close. That's what you need to do. Yeah, once per bar close. That's what you want to put as well. And then what you've done as well at the same time, yeah. So you want to do that, but yeah, of course, like I said, you've got the main thing is why you've got loads of alerts because remember you're scanning. You could be scanning 28 pairs. So yeah, there could be at one time there could be 15 pairs that give you an alert because again you're scanning 28 pairs. Obviously, if you're scanning only one pair, that wouldn't happen. Like you wouldn't get loads of alerts at one time. But yeah, you can put God mode or you can put LCT. It's up to you. I'm still varying between the two. Again, I have to learn. Have to learn between the two. If God mode gives me too many fake outs, I'll just leave it on LCT. But that's data that I have to collect, so I couldn't tell you. The best way to do is just put God mode, so you can at least see it, and then you can put LCT after. You can see, oh, a God mode's appeared. If a God mode's appeared, then more than likely it's gearing up for the big move. You can put LCT. If you want to enter, I'm going to be entering certain times on God mode. I'm just letting everybody know. Do you understand? So God mode is my first entry point if I'm going to enter. And then LCT is obviously my definitive entry. That's like, oh yeah, this should go from here now. Do you understand? 'Cause I'm still learning that one. I've told everyone I'm still learning that more. But at least tells you that boom, you're ready for a trade. It's starting to come up. But obviously, all my back, remember, as well as me trying to get the update out, I had to back test everything as well, as many times as possible, going on random bar selection. Mhm. So if I have too many simultaneous LT alerts, how do I narrow it down? The list. Every single pair is going to move. You have to remember that. You're supposed to read the table to narrow it down. You're not just looking at LCT as a signal. You're reading the table and you're working with your LCT. What you're doing, you don't have to set LCT to every single pair in the market because you're thinking it's like the Neo alert signals. It's not signal. It's an entry alert. Do you understand? So you should have done your due diligence first and then just put one alert on that pair. You don't need to put it on a watch list. It's not necessary. That's what's happening because you're not going to trade every single pair. You only want to know the pair that you've already assessed on the dashboard, the new dashboard. Is good. So for me, I put an alert on GJ. Do you understand? I didn't put a watch list alert. I just put one on GJ. I just want, and I know the specific alert I'm looking for. I'm looking for a God mode bearish sell or an LCT set bearish sell. And those are the two alerts I had on GJ. Simple. That's how you break it down. You have to break down. You have to learn this dashboard. Is what you got to do first. Do you understand? And that's why I told everybody that's where the trial and error is. Because again, and I said to everyone, it's either you watch it, write down, take notes, and see if you're learning it. It's if you demo trade it, so you can at least have demo proof over a month, 2 weeks, whatever works for you as a trader. Yeah, pardon me. Or you literally what do you call it, or you literally live trade it. Do you understand? And I said, if you're going to live trade it, don't live trade it with high risk. If you decide to do that, that's fine. But if you do blow your account, don't tell me Neo doesn't work. That's not me. That's down to the trader. Because I've told everybody, test it. Once I've built it and it comes together with stop loss entry and take profit and everything, that is me telling you this is the solidified strategy. Do you understand? But I can literally go. I've done it before in the past, and people feel left out. So I'm not leaving people out. I'm building it whilst telling people. So this is why things can change. Do you understand? So until I've done that, there's still things that are up in the air for discussion on what I'm trying to do. Do you understand? Remember, I'll say it clear as day for anyone that might have joined later in the Zoom call. Neo already has a strategy that works. I'm even giving these trades out for free to every single person just to show them that it works. This is, again, if you've got a 40 to 50% win rate and you can get your win rate to 70 to 80%, and it's even a smaller stop losses, less drawdown, of course I'm going to look into that. And what I saw is that this has given me execution of great trades. So this is why I'm creating this strategy. It's not to reinvent the wheel. It's not to do anything crazy like that. I'm already making consistent profits from what I have. And that is why I'm able to now say I can look into something else. If I wasn't making money, then I wouldn't do what you're seeing me do right now. So I want everybody to understand that thought process there. Do you understand? So if you're not making money already, you should stick to the Neo strategy and just ask questions about that. If you are making money and you are comfortable, yeah, you don't have no stresses in life, then you can now start looking into what I'm talking about here. Is what I'm saying. But obviously, I'm not gonna stunt the growth for everybody because maybe one person hasn't caught up enough or isn't given enough time to the markets. And I think that's fair for me to say. Because if not, I would never be able to update Neo. I'll never be able to, I probably wouldn't even have this version of Neo if I always had to make sure every single person is just stuck there. So you can see that the table just updated itself now right in front of us on here. You can see that it said that a trend thing just popped up. You see? Let's go over to gold anyway. But yeah, do you get it, people? Oops, look at me typing gold in there. Let's go over to gold and see what's doing. Oh, yeah. Gold is just stuck in this buy trend at the moment. So it's not really telling us that it says strong buy, balanced. It shows you it's balanced. Look at it. So it's been saying it's balanced, and you can see price is basically balanced. It's not doing anything. Trend buy, but look, again, this is on like ADR 10. Imagine I've capped the ADR and the code into 5. If you add this up, this is probably like ADR 8, 9. Gold is severely overbought. Severely. Any other questions, people? Any other questions? If not, I'm gonna tuck into this food. Was the explanation of the LCT trades good enough for you guys and girls? Was it good enough? So you can understand that it goes between the different flows and how you can get the trade? Let me know. Let me know, people. Let me know if it was. Remember, I'm going to do more Zoom calls, but I'm just saying, did you get at least something? Because remember, this was the first Zoom call since I dropped the update. So You know, if people ask that, they want to see the trap sellers, trap buyers in one, and put that there. The only reason I created the trap buyers and the trap sellers as well, people, was so I could get to the anchor protocol. Literally, I'm not even gonna lie to you. That's why I created it. So some things they are good. I noticed they're good to have because they give you a visual representation of something. But that was the whole reason why I created it. Because you'll notice the majority of the trades that do go off and do something, they will have an LCC or a God mode, but it will create on the 1 hour time frame. It's going to create um, one of these zones, these support or resistance zones, which are obviously trap sellers, trap buyers. Do you understand? So, and like I try to explain to people, it's not that I've put everything there because you have to trade everything. I have to build Neo in stages. Is the only way. And anytime I see that, okay, this makes sense. Because there was other things that I had before the Neo protocol. So this as well. Look, this is what I was telling people in the group. You can't even see this on gold, but look, this is what people don't see that I do behind closed doors. You understand? So you'll see it like on another indicator. Oh yeah, GBP CAD was one as well. This was the anchor protocol before the anchor protocol. Can you see? And this is what you're seeing with certain things on there. And this is why I thought certain people they overwhelm themselves and say, oh, it gets confusing or there's too much or there's this. It's because I have to put certain things in there, get rid of it, compress it. So instead of you having this histogram, yeah, I condensed it into this alone. Can you see the anchor protocol? So that's how people got to understand my thought process. Do you understand? GBP CAD was a good trade as well. I didn't pay attention to that one. So if we go here, but that's what I'm trying to tell you guys and girls sometimes. It's not all the time that you got to think you got to trade every single part of Neo. I'm just explaining to you why it's there in the first place. And what I can do is I can merge things together. Do you understand? In order for you to see something. So let's just go here quickly. I'm going to remove gold. And I just want to see what GBP CAD was saying. This was a good New York trade. Okay. So this was a trade. So you can see the JPYs was a trade, but this was a morning trade here. And I guarantee you, if we go to, you can even see on 4 hours of God mode trade, you can see, this is what I'm trying to tell you people. This is pay attention. I'm saying it again to you. Look at the ADR. Look at the trades that continue to move today. Go back and check. All of the pairs that actually did something were not overbought and oversold. That's why. So you can see why I have to add certain things certain times. I swear to you, I'm not trying to confuse the life out of you. But if you don't have certain things, sometimes you're not gonna. This is how you mess yourself up in trading. So automatically, you already knew that. Hold on, if I was to go through all the pairs and check which one, so I'm checking here. This one says XYZ. So what does GBP CAD say now? Because obviously GBP CAD is going to be up to date to where it is now. But already it says range by GBP CAD, outflow GBP CAD by trend. So maybe before this was clashing, or before this was what's the other one for it? It says flat. It could have said flat, clashing, whatever it was at that time. Yeah. But you can see why this has the probability of buying because already it was a weak buy GBP CAD. The outflow might have even been sell. I'm not going to tell you it was buy, definitely. Yeah. But even if it was buy, let's just say it was buy. Yeah. Cool. This is how you know as well that it's confirming what you can do because what out of all of the pairs that had moved, these ones are not completely oversold or overbought. Even the fact that it's merging the ADRs because of the way the table is, I tried to make it better. But let's go to the ADR on this side of GBP CAD because it's merging the it's like adding them together. So the GBP and the CAD. But you can see this one ADR GBP CAD one. It gave you the indication. Do you see it? So these are the little tweaks that I'm talking about that I'll make because I had to add it, put it here. Then I might change this, but so that we can also see that because it's got a low ADR, this makes this a good trade. I might change the name of that. So now you're going to be able to pinpoint those trades. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to frustrate you people or confuse you. But again, if I'm building a strategy from scratch, that's the whole point of building it from scratch. Do you understand? And the whole point of what I'm trying to tell you here is that you can clearly see the power of it and what it's doing. Because now, look, even if we was to go over into the entry point, yeah, we go to the 1 hour chart. Whoops. Let's do this. Let's do here and go into the 1 hour time frame. And let's see where it gave us an entry point for this trade. Okay. Entry point. And the reason why I'm doing the Zoom today, even though it might seem a bit impromptu, there might not be set things I'm speaking about, is because obviously I gave the indicator out yesterday, the update. So I don't want nobody to feel like they haven't got some type of knowledge or can refer back to some type of knowledge, not everything, so they can trade this week, demo, live, or paper, whichever way, based on what I'm explaining here, on top of the already normal Neo signals. You understand? So look here, boom. So this says God mode by, are we in Monday? Yeah, boom. Okay, no, let's go over here. Sorry. So we start the day properly. No? Boom, boom, boom. And you can even see why. Just look at the confirmations you're getting here, people. Just pay attention to the confirmations. Look, I want you to understand. This is what I've got here for a visual representation. I'd like you guys and girls to have this as well. If you don't want to, you can switch this stuff off and just pay attention to the table and use the anchor table. But look what happened here. Price hit a low. When it hit a low, you could see there was buyers and sellers in this market. There was only sellers at this point on a strong level. There might have been other ones, sorry, but I've switched off the broken zones just so it's not too much on the chart. But look, boom, you can see there was strong sellers on this level. That was from the Tuesday GBP news. Yeah, there was GBP news, high impact. Boom. You see price even tried to go up there, but failed. Even though buyers came into this auction, price came up to this level and failed. But then now because they failed on this level, they've come back down. Look at that. If what I'm creating is nonsense, look at that wick entry, re-entry for the buy right there, people. Look at that. This is absolutely beautiful when you pay attention to it. Look. And this is why I have certain things here and why I keep them there. So I can see this stuff. So I know how to adapt to it and create from it. Look at that wick entry. That is not coincidence. That was a wick entry on this candle that the indicator picked up for you. Do you understand? That was a wick entry. So from that wick entry, where do we go to from here? We move up. We obviously broke that zone. Boom. When we broke that zone, we go to ADR2. Yeah, now we're going to go into this new week. Look, it's come up as LCT trade, telling you that, hey, this thing is going, this thing is moving. Boom. Obviously, we even got a gap break from that LCT entry. So if this wasn't a gap break, this would have been a continuation of that buy trade. Yeah. Boom. Now we're just going to keep going and go here. Boom. So here, yeah. Look, we even got entry here. So let's say this was even our entry from the market open here because this was the God level candle. Yeah. Let's just see. Boom. You have another one here. You would have got entered it right here on this candle on the closure of that green candle. Oops, I'm gonna copy the Zoom call. You would have got one here, right here. Boom. Let's just pay attention to what happens. Boom. So can you see what I'm saying about God level as well? So you can see God level can get you some drawdown because it might not be the right entry just yet. But the LCTs, they are hitting. They are hitting. Yeah. Boom. So we'll see how much the drawdown is after, and we'll see what happened here on the 1 hour. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just keep going. You can see there's a few God level ones. Boom. Oh, boom. Oh, I should have left that to run because I want to see what this one was. Yeah, boom. So look here. And you see why I said LCT. So we're going to take it back because I was pressing a bit too fast. Yeah, we're going to take it back, people. This is why I said, yes, sometimes I will enter on God level candles. But again, I'm comfortable with holding a little bit of drawdown. Some people are not. If you're not, then you just want to wait for the LCT. Boom. All right. I'm just going to go here. Wait for this one, see what happens. Hopefully this thing is moving. Oh, please tell me it's moving. It's just logged in. Okay. Hold on a second. I've got to take it back one more step just in case. Bear with me. There's stuff going on in my background, people. Apologies. So I want people to know I'm letting my food get cold to do this Zoom call right now. So people, my food's getting cold. Yeah. That's how much I love you guys. Yeah. My food's got cold. Before anybody says that I'm not there or when are you gonna do the Zoom call, my food's getting cold right now. Okay. Look, boom. Okay, yeah, now we're back in the game. Look at the anchor protocol table. Let's just see. Let's just see. I'm trying to give it time to obviously make sure it loads up. But let's just see. Boom. Okay, let's see what this does. God mode. Can you see? So can you already see what I've seen here? So for me to filter now, I can filter the God modes to change them to only read from 4. But I'm telling you from now, you're still going to miss some entries for trades if I make it more sensitive. Do you understand? Because this was the original one. It was only when it pushed it into 4, but it doesn't. There's so much variations. You got to understand, people. It's hard to obviously get a precise every single time because sometimes they've gone off from God mode 2.1. Do you understand? It would only be from 2.5, so it'd be like 2.6. They've gone off from. Do you understand? But this one you can see is a 4.4. So that's already telling you this is a good God mode. Do you understand? Cool. So now when we go into the next candle, obviously this is the one that goes into the LCT, I believe. So boom. Okay. So now let's just say we got in from this LCT and let's see what happened from here. Yeah. So you see, if you took away from the God mode and everything, you only got into the LCT. Yeah. We'll just see how it goes. Boom. The market's obviously still moving as we speak because it's still only 6:30. There's still like 2, 3 hours left of the market. But can you see, people? So let's say this has the potential to go double what this is already. Maybe go to ADR4 even. I don't think it'll do that by today, but you never know. It's the market. But do you see my point, guys and girls? Can you see how the velocity, as it was a better velocity, that's when the real move kicked in. Do you understand? And realistically, that's where it comes in from the life-changing trades. That's why the velocity is set higher. Those happen from 5 and over. Do you understand? Do you get that, guys and girls? So that tells you that obviously a huge order had been placed. So you're not going to get that unless a huge order was placed, literally. So again, even if you was in the God mode trade, let's even see this here. You'd have got in here. I think it was pulling back here, yeah. You would have held a maximum of 30 pips drawdown, and then price action has now gone into 60 something pips. So you would have got a 1 to 2 R trade. You see? That's if you got in right on market open. If you waited for the like the 4.0 God mode, boom, you would have got in with no drawdown. If you waited for the LCT, right now you're just being profit, no drawdown. We just don't know how far it's gonna go. Does that make sense? Come through. Does that make sense? Let me know, guys and girls, please. Let me know. Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm gonna leave it there anyway. It seems like it's getting a bit quiet in the Zoom. Like I said, my food is turning into an icicle now. So I'm gonna leave it there. Um, um, eh, I'm gonna leave it there. No, I would not enter now. I don't know where you are in the world, but it's 6:45 at night. I wouldn't enter USD CAD so at this time. And like I've explained to you, USD CAD, I've said it time and time again, Yusuf. It's always recorded as well, people. It's always recorded. I don't think I've ever not recorded my Zoom call. I find it hilarious when people ask me that because it's literally always recorded, but it's always. I wouldn't do that to you, is why I'm saying that. I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I would never do that to you. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to get a bunch of people that are going to feel like they've always missed a Zoom call. Do you understand? So I always record them and then I always give them out to people. So, um, boom, look here. Why would you sell USD CAD? Look at what ADR level it's on. This is why I put the message out in the group for everybody from the beginning of the day so nobody makes that mistake. I put this out in the VIP chat. USD CAD is on ADR5, GBP CAD is on ADR2. You see the difference? You see, this is why I was looking at the JPYs because if a pair is going to do something today, let's look for the pairs. Now, I can see everything's overextended. No matter what the table is telling me, this is why I added the ADR there so you can see it's overextended. Now, what I'm going to look for is anything that might look like from the table it could buy or sell based on what the table's saying. But I'm going to make sure I go check the ADR on a pair. I'm going to go check the ADR on a pair. So from there, that is going to help me out. I'm sorry, that's going to help me out. Do you understand? No worries. So you have to pay attention. It doesn't matter if it does the move. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it does the move. But you don't want it to put you in a position of something. Do you understand? And that's why I'm just kicking back. I'm not trading. And if I was to look at anything, I would have traded on my other accounts, the JPYs, which I would have got correct. So literally from when the market reopens now, we're going to check. But if I can't, I'm sorry, we just have to wait for London session because obviously it's becoming a lot for me to handle this stuff. You know, in London session's 1 a.m. in the morning in the UK. Sorry, it's 11 o'clock in the UK, so it's 11 o'clock at night for us. Remember, realistically, most people that have jobs are in bed by 9 o'clock. Sorry, in bed by 11 o'clock because they have to wake up in the morning. Do you understand? And then on top of that, so imagine my whole household at that time. I'm not just going to be in an office sitting down at 11 o'clock at night waiting to give signals. You understand? Let's be real, people. I'm not going to be doing that. Innit? So, obviously, in my house, if I'm in my house at 11 o'clock at night, it's late. Everybody's sleeping. So, there's certain times where I can't even do Zoom calls. I'm not going to be doing these type of Zoom calls at 11 o'clock where everybody's trying to sleep. You understand? Doesn't make sense. So, there's that can happen. And then, obviously what I'm seeing is that they shift an injection into the market at 1 a.m. is what I tried to tell you. So again, that's even worse now because it's 1 a.m. So if I do pop up quickly and check it, I'll try and post some information, but I'm not going to be able to give you probably the most in-depth information. Again, it's 1 a.m. in the morning. So obviously over time, if I find a way to make it easier, I'll turn it into something that's already built into the system. That is what we have here. Yeah. So I'll try and see what trades there are today. It doesn't look like there's anything because I'm not really seeing too much doing anything really. You might see a continuation on like GBP CAD and the JPYs, but still, I haven't seen none of these pairs like USD CAD do a massive reversal or anything. So yeah, like it's the end of the month, people. So don't expect too much. NFPs next week. So and all the major news is more than likely next week. So you might not see nothing too crazy. The monthly candle needs to close. Do you understand? But yeah, I'm gonna love and leave you there because my poor food has just suffered the wrath of not eating. Oh, this chicken is good, man. It's good, good chicken. No worries, people. You take care, and I'll speak to you all later.